This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I care less what workers of iniquity. Rastafari, it's my security. Chimney, and I'm a go.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, Kelly's Home Center, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Iron Games, Pindertown, Prince Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, Tropical Gyros, and the Water and Sewage Corporation.
Walk with me, talk to me, show me the thoughts and them heart for me. On my journey, them can't see me.
And good afternoon, good day, happy Thursday. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. Yes, this is your boy Pearly in the house. We're here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. So good to be here with you. Boy, interesting stuff happening. And we got lots to talk about. I was supposed to have a guest today. The Mod Squad was supposed to meet with Latre Ramming, but I guess he can't make it. My brother, we want to talk to you. People want to hear what you got to say, so you got to come, man. You got to come. But in the meantime, I got to tell you how you could become a talking head.
Here's how you can become a talking head, brought to you by BTC.
You can call me at 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, 325-4259, or 325-4259, toll free 242-300-520. And you can always text me, which is powered by BTC, 422-4796, text 4796. Yes, how you doing? Boy, I wonder what's going on in the headlines today.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
In this morning, government to change Cuba contracts. PM says government will pay foreign workers. PM, we aren't getting in the middle of the U.S.-China spat. Country one step closer to major land reform, says DPM. Menace, I will continue to represent Kalani. Well, the election ain't called yet, so yes. Yes. And in the business section, what's going on in the business section here? Says, Sandoz occupancy strong amidst decline in stopover visitors. Hotel manager, we've been blessed with connections with our travel advisors, our proximity, and our brand itself. Risani on Paradise Island to start construction in late 2025. Thompson, financial bills do not rise to urgency. Won't put food on the table. People want to eat. Everybody got to eat. OIOF renews call for legislation to ban oil drilling. Keep that out of our country. Yeah, you know, I'm not an advocate for oil drilling industry, and even though it could bring us mega bucks, I am not an advocate of that because I'm more into my snapper, my Margaret fish, my grouper, my lobster tails. That's what I'm into, and I want to be able to we keep our waters pristine and clean and our fish good. And the minute you start that drilling for oil, that ain't a good thing. So that's my view. That's Pearly view. Some others may differ. Some others may have something else to say. But let me read a couple of things here to you. Happy Mother's Day from Naughty Johnny's. And they have a Mom Surf and Turf grilled lamb with jaw sauce, stuffed chicken breast, half lobster tail with lemon butter sauce, grilled shrimp, cheesy loaded mashed potatoes, and a very special dessert, 75 plus VAT. Mom's Oceanic Special, fried snapper, crab and rice, potato salad, a very special dessert, $42.95. Oh, yeah, they can get crab and rice for Mother's Day, and that's supposed to be a Father's Day thing. So that may be getting something different for Father's Day. But check on Naughty Johnny's this and every day, and particularly on Mother's Day for that special Mother's Day meal with your mom. I think we might just check that out. I can call my sister. Joker's Wild. Hey, folks, the longest-running entertainment venue ever in the Bahamas. The Joker's Wild Comedy Club Atlantis is closing its door after 35 years of bringing laughter to the Bahamas. To celebrate the very funny and talented The very funny and talented Tommy Davidson will be the closing act from May 20th to May 25th. Tickets are $50. Group rates are available for groups of 10 or more. For tickets, go to atlantisbahamas.com. Grab your friends and come out. Grab your family, grab your girlfriend, grab everybody and come out and come and have a great evening of laughs for the last time at Joker's Wild Comedy Club, closing its doors on May 25th. So come in anytime between the 20th and 25th and check out Tommy Davidson. I want to see you there because I will be there. I'm not going to be there every night, but I'll be there, I'll be there to check it out. Oh, and they have a Saturday special for Mother's Day too. A Mother's Day Saturday special at Naughty Johnny's. And that's conch chowder made with coconut milk. This is NRG. So why? Oh, you know what? I'm looking at Naughty's name on the top of this. And one of the best foods is the Mother's Day special with NRG at Old Fort Bay. At Old Fort Bay, a starter conch chowder made with coconut milk. Main course, jerk chicken pea bowl with your choice of protein. Dessert, chocolate caramel banana bread. Massage therapist will be on site from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. giving mothers a free 5-minute massage. I heard MJ talking about this yesterday, Mr. Producer. Say she going to go in 3 times and buy something 3 times so she could get a 5-minute massage. This should be nice. Mommy might like this. But y'all making it really hard to decide what we can do this weekend. But that's our people, Naughty Johnny's, NRG. Check them out. So, today is a very historic day for Roman Catholics. And I, being a Roman Catholic, I'm one of them. I'm so excited today. Today, the cardinals, 132 cardinals voted, and we have a new pope. And he's actually an American-born cardinal. Cardinal I want to say Provost. I want to pronounce this Provost. Somebody need to help me with the name. But we will now be calling him Leo the 14th, Pope Leo the 14th. Okay, this is a great time for Catholic. Is Robert Provost. He's the first American pope. Now he's born in America, but he spent most of his career in South America. He was a bishop in Peru, in a town, a city, one of the cities in Peru, and recently he has served as, this is my interpretation, one of the right-hand men to Pope Francis. He was responsible for the committee that would advise the Pope on issues worldwide. So if we know that if God forbid that something happens to Archbishop Pinder here, and it's time to find a new bishop for the Bahamas and the region, his team will be investigating, interviewing, and coming back to the Pope and said, I suggest Pearlie become the new bishop for the Bahamas. No, not only saying that's a joke. So he is expected to build on the reforms of Pope Francis. He's very easy to talk to, I've been told, down to earth, really grounded, really approachable person. And so it was surprising to me that we would have an American-born Pope, the first American Pope, the second from the Americas, because Pope Francis was from South America, so he's the second from the Americas, but the first American-born Pope. He's born in Chicago from the South Side, and those of you, Naughty and I always got to bring little sports in it. So if those of you who know Chicago, the South Side of Chicago is Chicago White Sox town. That's the heart of the Chicago White Sox. To be from the Chicago and be a Chicago Cub fan, the man's strong. He's strong because they take their baseball serious in Chicago, North and South Side. So he's from Chicago. This is an exciting time. Pope Francis died, so yesterday the voting started, and they have different rounds of voting, and you have to get a 2/3 majority. So out of 132, I think you had to get about 80 or somewhere around that. So the first voting was yesterday. Nothing happened. So you see, there's a chimney, and the smoke comes out, and there's black smoke. They said no pope has been elected. They had 2 rounds earlier this morning, 4:30 our time, and I think a little later, I can't remember the other time, and there was none. So on the 4th round of voting, we're assuming this is the 4th round, based on the timing it was supposed to be, we saw the white smoke. So immediately millions and millions and millions and millions of Catholics glued to the television sets. Hundreds of thousands were in Rome. People just started to gravitate towards the Vatican, the St. Peter, seeing chapels where the voting was going on. And it was an exciting time for Roman Catholics. And understand us now, there are 1.4 billion Roman Catholics in this world. And the church has been growing. We've grown from 1.39 billion to 1.4 billion over a couple of years. Had a 1% growth. The church is growing a lot in Africa. It's growing in South America. And this is a great thing for us as Roman Catholics. It's a new era for the Catholic Church. Hopefully he will continue with the same type reforms that Pope Francis was bringing to the church, introducing different things, and I don't want to say liberalizing, but making it less conservative of a church. So we look forward to see some of the doctrines he'll bring out. We look forward to see that some of the rulings he will make. But it's a great day for Roman Catholics. It's a great day for American Catholics, to be honest with you, and by extension, South American Catholics. He's fluent in English, Portuguese, Italian, Spanish. He reads German and Latin. He's really a brilliant man, really down-to-earth man, and hopefully that he will bring great things to the Catholic Church. It's an exciting time for the church, an exciting time. Just to give you, the church grew by 1.1% between 2022 and 2023, which is in a year, from 1.39 billion to 1.40 billion. A percentage very similar to that of the previous millennium, which is fantastic. To see stuff like this happening. Just a little thing. The largest concentration of Catholics is the Americas, which is North and South America, and followed by Africa and Asia. Africa in particular is experiencing a dynamic increase in Catholicism in the Catholic population, with a growth of 3.31% between 22 and 23. Leading countries, Brazil, with 182 million Catholics, continue to have the highest concentration globally. The Democratic Republic of Congo has almost 55 million baptized Catholics, followed by Nigeria with 35 million baptized Catholics. So the church is growing in other areas, and hopefully with an American Pope now, maybe you'll see some growth in the United States. Caller, you are on the air. Welcome to Talking Heads.
Yeah, good afternoon, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. What's up?
All right. I just have a good question. I was listening to you just now, and you said something about you hope that this Pope continues what the last Pope was doing in terms of making the church less conservative.
Yeah, in some sense, yes. He's brought a lot of reforms to the church, and hopefully that this will continue. Francis was a visionary when it comes to the church, and hopefully Pope Leo will do the same thing.
Yeah, so when you say less conservative, you mean more secular?
I don't want to use the word secular. No. All right. One of the things that, and contrary to what people believe, as far as the Catholic Church is concerned, homosexuality is wrong. That's in the doctrine. Francis said, who am I to judge them? Who am I to tell them they can't come to church? If I don't allow them to come to church, how can I minister to them? So being more liberal, being more open to stuff like that. Even there could be consideration for female priests, and some other changes. Little less strict on some of the rules that we have to follow. Like one of the rules is that for Lent we had to fast during Lent. We had to fast on Fridays, eat fish on Fridays. And Pope Francis says, if you ain't talking to your mommy, you ain't talking to your brother, you ain't talking to your friend, why you following these rules? You could eat meat. So a little less strictness, I would say. Fair enough?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, right? But once you start to slip, it's like Pandora's box. Once you open up, like when you're gonna stop?
No, you've got a whole crew of conservative cardinals. There's 132 of them, and some of the other ones that were front runners, like a cardinal from Italy, cardinal from Hungary, Hungarian cardinal, very conservative, and people were hoping for. But the African cardinals are more conservative as well. So you're gonna have a balance of how much the church will move to the left and how much the church will stay in more to the conservative side. So I don't see the Pandora box opening and that going. I think it's good for the church, and it's opening that we could be more growth into the church.
All right. Because Personally, I can't understand how certain individuals could be Catholic. Period. That's my personal opinion, right? But
I can say the same thing with Jehovah's Witness. I can say the same thing with Seventh Day. I can say the same thing with Rastafarians. As a Catholic, I don't know how something I can do, but I respect people's belief.
Yeah. But I'm going to say is that, but the whole thing about it is that we learn that God don't change. God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore.
Okay.
And God is and what God basically is His laws.
Yes.
You understand? So if you begin to water them down a bit, then you begin to change it.
No, we're not moving from the Bible. You're not moving from the teachings to the Bible at all. None of that is happening. In other words, okay. Example. The nuns wear habits. They cover the face, the head, the ears, and all that stuff. More liberal, you don't have to dress like that all the time.
Yeah, but I'm trying to. Yeah, I understand. I understand what it is loosening of the rules, slackening up.
I know. I don't know if you want to call it slackening up. I don't like your use of words.
Yeah. All right. But I think you get the point I'm trying to make, right?
Yeah.
But on top of that too, I find it interesting that the black smoke man no and the white smoke man yes. Good show, Bernie. Have a good day, man.
All right, my brother. Let me read a couple of texts. Great day for you Catholic. I only hope he is a Democrat. President Trump will have his hands full with him and a Bears fan. He's a Cubs fan. I'm not sure if he's a Bears fan. You think the Pope will let the priest get married this lap? You think lady priest? I don't know, Dexter. I don't have a... Let me rephrase this. I am coming to terms with female priests. All right? As a Catholic, I'm coming to terms with that. I'm coming to terms of young ladies serving on the altar. I'm coming to terms with that. I don't have a major problem with that. I don't know how close the church is to having married priests, but there's going to be, if I remember correctly, there's going to be a major conclave in 2028, and a lot of that stuff is going to be looked at. Okay, so it'll be interesting to watch how the church progresses and what happens over the next couple of years building up to that conclave. Good day, Pearlie. I'm glad to hear an American president became the new pope. Everything is working out, and Donald Trump is the American president. Yee-hoo! Understand one thing, Texter. While he is a born American, I think he's more Peruvian and has more South American in him than he has United States of America in him. And I don't know him that well yet, but I will get to know this Pope, and I will be able to say a lot more about him as time goes on. We have another caller? Caller, are you there? Caller, you on there?
Hello, can I speak to Mr. Pearlie?
Hey, what's up? Don't listen to your radio. Turn your radio down and listen to the phone.
Good afternoon, Pearlie.
Hi, how are you?
I would like to say congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
I am not a Catholic, but I respect every man's view on religion.
Yes.
We differ, but
Yes.
I think we're all serving a God.
Yes.
I have a religion of my own that I follow, and some of the things that we say I'm not quite. I think we could be a little more.
Are you at liberty to
open.
say which
But
church?
that's the way it is.
Are you at liberty to say which church you attend?
Yes, I'm a Methodist.
Oh, okay.
And we have to remember in our church too. Well, John Wesley and Charles Wesley played their role.
Yes.
But it is God to who we serve.
And one of the first things that Pope Leo said this morning when he talked to everybody and he blessed everybody, said, God loves everyone.
Everyone.
God loves everyone.
And I think sometimes we're so caught on religions that we lose. We just simply lose what it is.
Yeah.
God is at the forefront. There's nothing wrong with religion, opposing views sometimes, but it still all has to do with God,
Yes.
the Almighty, the
Amen.
Creator.
Amen. Yes.
So thank you. I'll continue to listen.
So I'm thank you, and I'm going to church on Sunday.
Yes, I can imagine.
Okay. And so I'm trying to decide now because I'm supposed to go to church with my mother, and she's Anglican. So I trying to figure out what I can say. Mommy, I kind of want to go to St. Francis on Sunday.
Yes,
Well,
so
at least I had
I'm excited for all of you Catholics today, and I myself, I
Thank you.
join in with
Okay.
saying congratulations.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right.
All righty. Interesting. There's another caller. Call you on the air. How you doing? Oh, you gone, eh? They gone, eh? All right, no problem. So, this is an exciting time for Roman Catholics around the world. The 1.4 billion of us are excited about a new pope, optimistic about a new pope. and can't wait to see which direction he's going to go and which direction he's going to take the Catholic Church in. Will he continue on the same reforms that Pope Francis started? Will he introduce new reforms? I'm sure he will. He has to have his legacy. So it's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting to watch for us, those of us who are Roman Catholics. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we got a caller. The caller don't go anywhere. You just hold on. We'll come to you in a second. We'll take our first break. But this is the Talking Heads Thursday on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be back.
You're never going out and coming in. Keep me by your right hand and keep me far from Satan. I let walk with me, talk to me, show me the thoughts and them hard for me. Me dip on my journey, them can't see me.
Turn up the heat and the flavor with the new Jalapeno Fire from KFC. Crunch into the iconic taste of KFC's original recipe, extra large filet that's made with KFC's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices cooked to perfection. Stacked high with spicy jalapeno peppers, pepper jack cheese, and our cool but kickin' jalapeno sauce, all wrapped up in a soft toasted brioche bun. Go bolder and crank up the heat with our spicy zinger filet. The new Jalapeno Fire is bringing the heat and it's finger-licking good.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Make this Mother's Day extra special with Kelly's House and Homes Mother's Day sale Friday, May 2nd through Saturday, May 10th. Enjoy 20% off a beautiful selection of dinnerware, glassware, luggage, silk flowers, and picture frames, except on net items. These are all perfect and stylish gifts to show Mom just how much she's loved. Hurry in and take advantage of Kelly's House and Homes 20% off Mother's Day sale Friday, May 2nd through Saturday, May 10th. Happy Mother's Day, all with love from Kelly's House and Home.
Since 1989, Joker's Wild Comedy Club has been the heart of laughter in the Bahamas. But now an era is coming to a close. Join us May 20th to the 25th for the final shows with your headliner for the evening.
For my guy, comedian Tommy Davidson.
Joker's Wild Comedy Club has hosted world-class comedians from the early days of Steve Harvey and legends like Jay Leno and Damon Wayans. Joker's Wild has been more than just a comedy club. It's been a home for laughter and creativity.
We gotta start loving each other. Stop it. We stereotype too. Black people, white people can't dance. White people dance their ass off, just different.
Tommy Davidson, along with featured comedian Kirk Green and house comedian Naughty. Don't miss your last chance to experience the magic. May 20th to the 25th, Joker's Wild Comedy Club. Admission $50. Get your tickets now at Atlantis-Bahamas/events. Come enjoy and relive the laughter at Joker's Wild Comedy Club.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
I care less what we're a team. Rastafari, it's my security. Chilling, and I'm going out and coming in.
Welcome back. Talking Heads Thursday with Pearlie on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. And I wanna touch on something. And I talked about some numbers, and I talked about the growth of the church worldwide. And the Catholic Church has grown worldwide, but the exponential growth has been in Africa, 3%, and in Asia and in the Americas. And it's not done well in the Bahamas, and it's not done well in America. You know, we've the three top religions in the Bahamas right now is Baptist, Anglican, and non-denominational. Where the Catholic Church used to be up there. All right, and we've seen, and this is based on the census, we've seen some loss, you know, in the Catholic Church. I think we've lost, there's technically standing at about 42,000 Catholics. I'm showing a decrease in about 7. So it's interesting to see, because back in the day, the three main religions was Baptist, Anglican, Roman Catholic. So to see this, and we're seeing it, and I'm hoping, Pearlie is hoping, that with Pope Leo we'll see more growth, having an American, quote unquote, as Pope, and you'll see a little more reform that will bring a growth in this side of the world. You know, so hopefully we'll see that happen. Callie on the air. How you doing?
A pleasant good evening, Pearlie.
What's up, Sparky?
You know, first of all, Pearlie, let me say this right off the bat.
Now, Sparky, I can let you know one thing. If you down my church, I can cut you.
No.
If you say anything negative about my church, I can cut you.
No.
Go ahead. I can listen. Go ahead, Sparky.
I would like to congratulate you the way you manage your talk show.
Uh-huh.
You don't have time to block nobody, ain't gonna speak to them no more, because they say something that you didn't like and all that kind of thing.
Sparky, I appreciate that, and you done tell me that 100 times. I want you to tell me. I letting you talk. Tell me what's going on. What you got to say, bro?
First of all, let me. I always was saying I was 73 years old.
You're 74 now, right?
On Sunday.
Yeah, you been to church and you had Jungle who rush out.
This church, and I ain't been there about 30-some years.
Okay, I hear about the rush out and everything. I hear about it.
The rush out, and they honor me at the church. The volleyball showed up. We had a rush out in the park.
Which volleyball? Sparky, I losing. You cut out again.
No, what I'm saying is, Pearlie, you don't have time to get in no rap.
No, I don't.
Thing with nobody.
So talk to me. What you call to tell me today now? What's up?
I was saying thank you and thank everybody who congratulated me on my 74th birthday.
I trying to catch you up, so I got to keep congratulating. I trying to catch you up.
Take another year to catch
I got 10 more years to get you up.
But I wanted to say, at this age in our life, Pearlie, we don't have time and no trivial. Well, he say something to me and I can block him. He can't call my show no more thing.
I understand.
Be too old for that foolishness.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I give you a chance to talk.
Country. It's about country first.
Amen.
It ain't about personal attributes and where I PLP, where I at.
But the 242. Sparky, something wrong with your phone. They keep cutting out on me.
No, but what I'm saying, Pearlie, man. Look at Pearlie.
Yes.
The other day, about 4 days before my birthday, the people come into my yard at 4 o'clock in the morning and stole my 8,000 BTU generator.
They carry a whole generator to your yard? You sleeping it?
There had to be 2 people to lift that, because guess what? I told them that before my birthday came on Sunday, I've got a brand new one, and guess what, Pearlie? I got a 9,000 BTU generator now.
You got this one gene down, though?
No, this one, look, I just reached home from Kelly's. It's still in the car. It ain't come out the car yet.
Yeah, but you got to tie the chain that one down.
And guess what? The fellow people, they leave their ski mask outside in the yard somewhere. But, Pearlie, all of our talk show hosts, man, y'all got this foolishness hating this one because they didn't say something you like and didn't like a thing.
Well, Sparky, I only can talk for Pearlie, and as long as you be respectful to me, I can be respectful to you, and I can allow you to talk.
Yeah, but they're about radios, PLP, and FNN.
Well, it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. I know what I am, and I know what you are. It don't matter.
Because I know one thing. I come from the bestest high school in the Bahamas.
You ain't come from Sac. Don't try that. You ain't come from Sac. Don't try that. Bye, Sparky. Have a good day.
Look here, Pearlie, I wanted to thank you,
Uh-huh.
and I want to tell the rest of the talk show hosts who don't want to talk to Sparky no more. That's their business.
That's theirs. There's no problem. I can talk to you. Why don't you be respectful? I can be respectful, okay?
Right, but what I'm saying is, Pearlie, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
The Indians, the first thing in this thing is we need to serve our God first.
Yes.
Whether it's Allah Akbar, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Buddha, whoever it is, serve your God first. But remember, let's build the Commonwealth of the Bahama Islands.
Yes.
And we got to stop allowing foreigners to come in here, tell us what to do, take over our country, and tell us it's more us here than them.
All right. I hear you.
That got to stop.
I got a bunch of other callers coming on now, Sparky. Thank you. I appreciate that. Take care, brother. Happy birthday. Belated happy birthday. May I read the text first? Text said, Pearlie, you talk about a conclave. Will the Anglicans be included also in the conclave? No, it's the Roman Catholic conclave. So it'll be bishops from all over the world. And they probably go to, I don't know where it's going to be. It might be in the Vatican. They all go there and they'll have a conclave to talk about the church moving forward. Okay? So it's a Roman Catholic thing. Okay? Hey, Pearlie, happy Mother's Day to your mother. I remember her vividly. She used to work at Betelco where I also worked. She was a very nice lady. She is a very nice lady, and she is the love of my life, and I can't wait to spend Mother's Day with her. I talked to her this morning, and I try to talk every day. I get raw if I don't talk to her every day. Pearlie, here we go. Pearlie, would God forgive those who change their gender or change their skin color? I would like to hear your stance on that. Pearlie, Sparky mad at somebody. Yes. If you decide to have a sex change and you die, and 100 years later, and you tell yourself you name Jill, not John or not, and you identify as a female and all that stuff, and they dig up your body 100 years later, they digging up a man. So I can't speak for God. I don't know if God will forgive them. He's a forgiving God, so he probably, if you ask for forgiveness, he will forgive you. But I don't agree with sex change. I think I don't think God makes mistakes. I think if God made you a man, you're a man. If he made you a woman, you're a woman. And if you're trying to be something else, you need to get your act together. That's Pearlie's view. All right? That's Pearlie's view. Let's make sure I clear that. So I believe those who have had sex change when they die and they become just bones and they dig your body up 100 years later, they say, oh, that was a man. So that on y'all. One more text, and then I'll take this call. Text says, Pearlie, I don't like the new pope. I was looking forward to a more conservative, traditional pope. This new pope seems like a leftist, socialist from South America. I can't deal with that. I don't know if he's a leftist socialist, but he's a pastoral pope. And what I mean by a pastoral pope, he ain't a businessman. He's a pope that can be in the church. Who's a pope that's he's an Augustine pope, so he ran the prior of Augustine. He's going to be a pope on the ground. He's going to be more pastoral. In other words, trying to get more people to come to the church. And that is what I like that is what I'm hoping from this pope. Okay? Call you on there. How you doing?
Hey, boys, what's happening?
Yeah, my brother, what's happening?
Hey, boy, Grammy boy, GNN. I cracking up on this, boy. You stop Sparky and he tracked. You know Sparky was going to go and talk to Cal.
But listen, let me say one thing. I respect what your religion is, but when you mess with my church, Earl, my daddy's come out of me in that one.
That's it, boy. I know Sparky, boy. You really is a good goalkeeper because trust me, Sparky was heading right where you.
And I played goalkeeper. I played soccer for soccer, and I was the goalkeeper, so yes.
Yeah, but see, what Sparky guy understand is Sparky don't get on me, the grabby boy. I's a body boy, do I trust with you? Yeah, but the head drunk with that like a teacher. I can't myself yet. But look here. What people like Sparky and them got to realize, though, the talk show hosts, some of them need to allow, so it ain't the talk shows belong to them.
Right.
You're working for some people, you got the world listening.
Yes.
You got kids listening, you ain't know who listening.
You got to be careful. I agree.
Yeah, you got to have some certain amount Sparky. And the other one would try to run me down on the other show yesterday. You got to have some certain respect and decorum when you call the talk show.
Yes.
Yes,
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, ain't all the time you can agree with what somebody say or the way somebody. And ain't all the time you can be right. But you got to have respect, man.
Yeah.
And then
once we agree to disagree, we good.
I call all the talk shows because everybody I call with respect.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? So you're not getting by and the police looking for you. Don't take it on me because I ain't political, you know what I mean? I don't vote for nobody. So I ain't a problem. But thanks for letting me share that with you.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I like GNN said this now. I don't care what your is. I don't care what your politics is. If you bring something to the table and you want to talk, we can talk. I don't have to agree with you as long as we all agree to disagree respectively. I have no problem with that, You can call and tell me you think I COI, PLPF, and them. It don't matter to me. All I want to do is make sure that when we get on this radio station, when we get on Talking Heads Thursday, we talk sense. All right? We talk sense, and everybody gets an opportunity to say what they have to say, and I'm good with that. That don't bother me at all. But I ain't going to let you knock my church. I ain't going to let you knock my church. I ain't going to let you knock my sack, and I ain't going to let you knock my Dodgers. I can't see on them. And you can knock my politics. I don't mind that because that's your right. All right? And we have a right, and we can discuss the views of everything and discuss your views and my views and see how we can come to some agreement. Or at least to come to some understanding of what each other believe in. That makes sense? So, I'm excited. I'll go back. I'm excited about Pope Leo the 14th. That means he's the 14th. All right. Explain it. You know my name, so if that's to become Pope, I will choose my Pope name. And you have you choose it on a how to put it, on some belief that you have, okay? And I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna check up to why he picked Leo, but there have been 13 other Leos ahead of him, and I think he had some connection to something that Leo the 13th did that brought him to that. I'm gonna get the facts on that. But we know Pope Francis took his name from Francis of Assisi, if I pronounce it right, Azziz, I think it is. And he's the patron saint of the poor. So Pope Francis lived in a simple apartment, didn't live in the fancy apartment. Didn't wear the red shoes that popes wear, which is a symbol of the blood of the people's blood. Wore his old shoes, left $100 in his account when he died. So he was, and so others pick. Pope Benedict picked because of this. He was a Benedictine. So they would choose a name that has some affinity to them, some meaning or some reasoning. So I'm going to find out why he picked Leo. But I'm going to keep saying this is a great moment in the Catholic Church. This is the 6th Pope that I have seen in my lifetime. I have actively watched the last, I think, Francis, Leo, Benedict, John Paul, maybe the last 4 popes I have actively watched and attentively paid attention to the process, okay? And the process is you have the Sixtine Chapel, the 130 plus cardinals go there, they sit down, they deliberate, they vote. Once they vote, they count it, and if it's not a 2/3 majority, they burn those ballots, and they put a chemical in there to show sense of the black smoke to say there's no pope yet. And then they come back and vote the next day, or sometimes they may take 4 votes in a day. The first day is 1, and then the next day, like this morning, they took 4. They took 3 actually, 1 yesterday, and then they took 2 this morning, and then they took the 3rd one. In the evening, they had another one they would have done later. They would have continued this until a 2/3 majority. So Pope Francis was elected on the 4th vote. Pope Benedict was elected on the 4th vote, if I remember correctly. So they normally, for the last few, has come on the day 2. I don't think it's been centuries where a pope has been elected in the first ballot. So that's all of that. And for Catholics, it's an exciting moment. And other religions may not understand what we go through, and I respect that. That's fine. But for us, it's an exciting moment. Papal name, and the names are chosen when there is an alignment. Okay, yeah. All right. Probably it would be great if the Pope could come visit every Catholic church in the Bahamas. It would be great if the Pope does come visit the Bahamas. All right, and it'll be difficult to visit every church, but he comes to the Bahamas and it'll be. I remember when Pope John. I was 14, so that would have been in 76, 77. And he came in and it was at the sports center. He's only in for a few hours, and he had a service and all that stuff, and it was a really nice time. My claim to fame in that is he was in a Jeep, and the step down from the Jeep was high, so they needed a step to be put to the Jeep. And I was the one that did that, That's my claim to fame, and it was wonderful to see the Pope, and he blessed me, and I was, gave me, it was kind of cool. That was kind of cool for me, And I think I live vicariously on that through my father lived vicariously through me on that because he was more excited about me doing that than anything else. I don't get the Pope thing. I honestly don't. I would like to know why Rastas was interested, though. All right. I don't know why every organization has a leader. Even the Rastafarian faiths have a leader, a high priest, or whatever you want to call it. So the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church worldwide. And he's considered, the first Pope was considered, Peter was the first Pope upon this rock I built my church. So it's like a descending line from Peter. So he's just the head of the Catholic Church. Like any other religion, any other organization has a head. The Pope is the head of the church. He's the chief bishop. He's the main bishop. He's the bishop in charge, if you want to break it down that simple for you. Okay? Call you on there. How you doing?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Party, to call you back, but I wanted to ask you this question in regards to the Catholic.
our Catholic religion in the Bahamas.
Uh-huh.
If I could ask you this. From I was a young boy, when we went up East Bay Street, there's a property called the Hermitage.
Yes.
And that property without that big wall, that lockdown must be about 19,000 acres of wall.
It ain't that much, but I know what you're talking about.
But then you got wall.
Did I lose you again, Sparky?
Good morning.
Say it again.
I say, out in the front of that property, where the bishop lives, the Catholic bishop lives,
Uh-huh.
we don't know what comes in there in the harbor to that Hermitage, night, morning, day. But as I was growing up...
First of all, hold on. First of all, ain't no harbor, ain't no dock there. That's just a beach.
I don't know. You ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
How much people ever been? How much Bahamians ever been there?
Plenty Catholics been there, particularly young, particularly a lot of youth. The youth groups used to have weenie roasts or have different things. There are a lot of Catholics have been there. It's not blocked off to anybody. It's not blocked off from anybody to go there.
No, but you said a lot of Catholics been there.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to find out, Pearlie.
Uh-huh.
Why does one man who is not married, with no children, no wife, no nothing, need all that property when Catholics all over the Bahamas starving?
Who say one man? Who says? First of all, who says one man living there? Who? First of all, see. Let me see. Hold on, Sparky. Sparky, hold on, brother. Hold on. See, let me straighten you out. Let me understand something. Because he lives there don't mean people. The Catholic Church ain't helping people because the Catholic Church feed more people than any religion in this world. In this world, do you know that St. Anselm's Church feed over 150 children every morning before they go to school? Do you know that the Catholic Church feed people every week and give them grocery items? It's the Vincent de Paul Society, which is a part of the church, feed people and give them groceries every week. Do you know that people come to the church and get food and get clothes and get money every day? We just don't go on the news and put it in the news and brag it and broadcast it, you know. So don't judge because we have a house that the bishop lives in that is a nice house that he lives in and other priests live there. That don't mean we're not doing our part. Because we do. The Catholic Church takes care of the poor. Just so you know that, brother. See, when you get to that's don't. I'm more interested that Bill Gates giving away his money and the criteria. Well, Tex, if that's what you're interested in, that's your right. I can't beat you for that. But don't be mad at me for what I believe in. And don't be mad at me because that's the way I go. Some people go different ways and they have different beliefs, and I respect that. I have Rastafarian friends, and we have discussions. I don't knock what they do. I have Anglican. My mother's an Anglican. Half my family, and all of my family, my mother's side are Anglicans. I have very dear friends who are Jehovah's Witness. One of my dear friends is a Seventh-day Adventist. I have friends who are Baptists. I have friends who are Church of God. I have friends who are non-denominational. And we all live this just our belief. I have friends who are PLPs. I have friends who are FNMs. I have friends who are COI. I have friends who are DNA. That's your belief. And I trust your belief. I may not agree with it, but that don't mean I can knock you for it. I believe in the Roman Catholic Church. That is my belief. I am a strong believer that I go to the 8:30 Mass in St. Francis just about every Sunday. Am I perfect? Do I go every week? Do I miss? Yeah, I miss. But that girlfriend of mine should be on my case, making sure you go to church, bro. And I go to church. Some people go to another church. She goes to an Anglican church. I respect that. I respect that. I respect that my mother goes to Holy Cross. And I don't want to miss my first Sunday with a new pope, but I go to church on my mother and Mother's Day. So it's not about who's right or wrong. It's our belief. Some of the practices of other religions I don't believe in, but I'm not going to kill them for that. I like conch salad. My friend who's a Seventh-day Adventist don't eat conch salad. You think I can kill him for that? I tell him, let's order the conch salad. Tell him put all that conch in my own and you take the veggies. That is your belief. And I don't try. I have gay friends. Don't try to put it on me. I respect that's your belief. Do I agree with it? No. But that's what you believe in, so I respect that. You know? So, Texter says, Pearlie, I'm glad you straightened that out. Sparky have issues. I wonder why he gets cut off. And Sparky has a right to have his belief. But don't come and talk about living in this big house and all that stuff. How many people... Let me behave. Let's put it this way. How many religions we have out there who... Some of them live in a millionaire row, they call it, in out west. Do they feed people like that? I don't know. But I'm not going to kill them if that's the way they decide to go. Let me give you this story. In 1979, I was a key clubber. And we were going on a trip. And as you know, when you're going on the trip, you go around, you try to get a little sponsorship, and you try to get a little help. And I was very close to, God rest his soul, Monsignor Preston Moss, his second daddy to me. My spiritual advisor. All right, dear man, great man. And he said to me, I'm going to sponsor you a month's salary. I'm going to sponsor you, I'm going to give you a month's salary, Earl. 1 month of my salary I'm going to give you to go on your trip. $250. $250 was his month's salary. He went to get a car. And I got around. I said, Monsignor, there's a roller. What happened to the push button? What happened to the tape deck? He said, I don't need those things. I'm only trying to get from church to here to visit somebody. I don't need the fancy stuff. I don't need a push button. I don't need the push button window. I don't need a tape deck once the radio could turn on. That showed me what they believed in. Wasn't trying. And so some lived one way, some lived the other way. And I respect whichever route you take. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Yes. How you doing, Pearl? How you doing?
Hey, my brother. What's happening? You get the last say.
Yeah, congratulations on it. When I heard the name, I went to search on why he chose Leo.
Uh-huh.
And I think, for me, it's like considering the Catholic Church is becoming more globally diverse and linguistically inclusive.
Yes.
And doing those, when you look at the other Leos, most of them I found, two of them, was like when the church was in a major transition.
Okay.
They kept the need to have the church to be inclusive, but more broad. Inclusive, but not fraying away from the doctrine that the church itself has. So it seems to me that he considers the continuation of Pope Francis, that the church is going towards a wider reach, but keeping tradition, but not the rigid tradition that is in place. I guess you kind of mentioned that.
Yeah, more reform, making it more appealing to others. Yeah.
Yes, and so I'm not Catholic.
Okay.
I am. If anything else, I'd be Jewish. So don't blame me for Jesus.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
it. I'd just like to know. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you, Alan. And the last text is, pretty you getting too old for girlfriend. Put a ring on. One thing before I go. In Stapleton Gardens, Coconut Brothers around Stapleton Gardens, you've been in one man's yard and you steal his jack. Got it on video, a blue Honda Fit. Please, carry the people things back, man. All right? Because they can send that to the police and they come and look for you. All right? I can't even remember. You know what? It was a number, I think. I can't remember the SD. I think it's 6611 or something like that. It's a blue Honda Fit you was driving. You carry the people jack. Please give them their jack back. People working hard, man. It's been a wonderful first hour. Interesting. We're going to have sports, and after we get back, I got my friends from the Bahamas Youth Flag Football Association going to be joining us. We can talk a little bit about my big Dodger win last night. And we're going to talk about the New York Knicks. Oh, them Celtics. Sheldon, I know you're worried. Let's get ahead, Sheldon. Thank you for listening. We'll be back right after the news. This is Pearly, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. You'll see you in a little bit.
Keep me far from Satan. More time I can't believe. Feel for grief. Flesh them a tear and them coming at me. The Bible tell me about a national beat. Me think I joke, but not the joke's on me.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361. Turn up the heat and the flavor with the new jalapeno fire from KFC. Crunch into the iconic taste of KFC's original recipe, extra large filet that's made with KFC's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices cooked to perfection. Stacked high with spicy happy pepper jack cheese and our cool but kickin' jalapeno sauce, all wrapped up in a soft toasted brioche bun. Go bolder and crank up the heat with our spicy zinger filet. The new jalapeno fire is bringing the heat and it's finger-licking good.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copy or leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Hola, it's Thursday. It's yo, Cuban Willie, and it's time for my numerology report brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And it's Thursday, like I say. I got the lucky 4 balls for you.
1911, 1911, 1911.
Play them and win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friend.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I care less what workers of iniquity. Rastafari, it's my security. Chillin', and I'ma go.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, Kelly Center, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pindertal, Prince Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, Tropical Gyros, and the Water and Sewage Corporation.
Walk with me, talk to me, show me the thoughts and them heart.
And good afternoon, good day. Welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday, sports time. I just realized something. I out of shape. I decided to go run downstairs. One of my friends gave me to bring something to me. I said, let me do this little sprint out. I feel like I'm about to fall out. I really got to do something but that. But anyway, let's do what we do best. Let's get into today in sports history. Here we go. Today. Oh, so it's going to take forever to open back up. Today is Thursday, May 8, 2025. Today in sports history, in 1866, Australian rules football was created. In 1878, Paul Hines made baseball's first unassisted triple play. In 1909, Chief Bender, Philadelphia Athlete, hit 2 inside the park home runs against Boston. In 1915, H.P. Whitney, Regret became the first Philly to win the Kentucky Derby. In 1935, Ernie Lombardi, Cincinnati Reds, hit 4 doubles on consecutive at-bats against 4 different Philadelphia pitchers. In 1954, Parry O'Brien became the first to toss a shot put over 60 feet. O'Brien achieved a distance of 60 feet, 5 1/4 inches. In 1961, the New Yorkers selected a new name for their new National League Baseball franchise. They chose the Mets. In 1966, Frank Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles became the first player to hit a ball completely out of Cleveland Memorial Stadium. Also in 1966, the St. Louis Cardinals played their last game in Busch Stadium. They lost to San Francisco 10-5. In 1967, Muhammad Ali was indicted for refusing induction to the U.S. Army. In 1970, the New York Knicks won their first NBA title when they defeated the Los Angeles in Game 7 of the finals. Don't remind me of that. In 1971, Joe Frazier defeated Muhammad Ali in New York's Madison Square Gardens. It was Ali's first defeat of his pro career. I saw the fight, but they had it on at the Prince Charles Drive-In. A couple of weeks later, my dad took us to see it. In 1973, in Cincinnati, Ralph Miller, the last of the 19th century baseball players, died at the age of 100. In 1984, Kirby Puckett of the Minnesota Twins debuted with 4 singles. Also in 1984, the Soviet Union announced that they would not participate in the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. Also in 1984, the Chicago White Sox beat the Milwaukee Bucks 7-6 in 25 innings. The game was actually completed on May 9th. In 1988, Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls completed his first round of the playoffs with 226 points in 5 games against Cleveland. This is a long way. In 1993, Lennox Lewis defended his WBC heavyweight title for the first time. He was in a unanimous 12-round decision over Tommy Tucker. In 1995, Mark Messier of the New York Rangers became the 3rd player to reach 100 playoff goals. In 1999, Ken Griffey Jr. of the Seattle Mariners hit his 361st home run. The feat tied him for 45th place in the all-time home runs list with Joe DiMaggio. In 2000, Mark McGwire of the St. Louis Cardinals hit his 534th home run. He tied Jimmy Fox for 9th place on the all-time home run list. In 2000, Jason and Jeremy Giambi of the Oakland became the 10th set of brothers to hit home runs in the same game. And finally, in 2012, Josh Hamilton of the Texas Rangers became the 16th major league baseball player to hit 4 home runs in one game. Somebody that Perez Sanchez just did it for Arizona and they lost the other day. Sports quote, perhaps the single most important element in mastering the techniques and tactics of racing is experience. But once you have the fundamentals, acquiring the experience is Greg LeMond, Mr. He used to run he used to race what do they call it? There's a bicycle race in France, Tour de France. Tour de France. Okay, let's go and see what's on the home front. If I could find a newspaper, so the Guardians be really big on Thursdays, but there we go. New meet record set at primary schools nationals. The 3-day meet wraps up today at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Buddy has another strong playoff game. Buddy went off. You can have to go Steph out. All right. Holgrave reaches finals in doubles in Jamaica. So, today's Thursday, and you know my favorite people come here every once in a while to update me on what's going on in the Bahamas Youth Flag Football. So Coach Ine is here, but Coach Ine, just before we get to that, I had some texts I did not read, and I need to read these because I promise I always read the text. So we're just going to get right into what you and I are talking about. Pearly Sparky a little mad at you. He think you hang up on him. No, I hang up on Sparky. Good day, Pearly. I just love how you deal with Sparky, man. He is on Guinness. What kind of things is happening to him? One minute he loved PM Davis, the next minute he be mad with PM Davis and this MP. Leave my good friend Sparky, yeah? Strength and leadership in turbulent times. Amen, I say amen. Coach Ine, how you doing?
I'm great.
So this Saturday is a big day for the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League.
Yes.
The high school nationals.
It's actually our 3rd annual high school tournament.
Okay.
And this year, I think this has been the biggest so far.
Okay.
We have 12 teams registered for this tournament.
That's a big growth.
Yes. H.O. Nash actually has 2 teams registered in this tournament.
So is it age or is it?
Yes, we have 2 divisions.
Okay.
We have 14 and over, and then we have 14 and under.
Okay.
So we have 7 teams registered in the 14 and over division, 5 teams registered in the 14
So
and
how do you
under.
determine 14 or over 14 and if I 14?
Well, then you're on that little plateau, and your coach can decide if he
you go up
wants
or
you
down.
to work.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, all right, and it's this Saturday at the Thomas A. Robinson?
This Saturday at the open field at the rear of the old TAR Stadium.
Okay.
We begin at 9 a.m. sharp.
So now you said H.O. Nash got 2 teams. Who all you got in there? No SAC got but 9 teams in there.
No, we actually have Kingsway, we have SAC, Doris Johnson, C.B. Bethel, H.O. Nash, Queens College, and we have the team from Harbor Island coming to.
Cool.
Yes, they're bringing a team as well. And so we're very excited about Harbor Island coming over,
That's
as
exciting.
well as, the increase in government school
So
participation.
tell them go by Sybil Bakery and get one loaf of bread for me and bring it, please. When I go to Bryland, I have to stop at Sybil's Bakery, right? The Clare family are very dear friends of mine, right? So just tell them swing there. Pearly say send him a loaf of bread.
And
They can send it. They can send it. I can call Auntie them and tell them send me my bread.
Yes.
So
we have a whopping 120 kids registered.
So who are the defending under the 14 and over and the 14? Who are the
SAC.
defending? Oh, both divisions.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I knew that. I only been this guy. So SAC is the defending champs of both divisions.
Yes, they are.
So who you think is the challenge for them this year?
Well, CV Bethel has been very productive for over the last 3 years.
Okay, so they've been improving.
They have shown massive improvements.
Okay.
Their team is kids who have remained in the program since they first
Okay.
started with us.
Okay.
And so the team has grown together. So I think they will definitely be a team to watch in this tournament.
All right.
Yes.
So who were the finalists last year? SAC beat who last year?
SAC beat QC in the 14 and over division because I coached them last season.
You coach who?
I coached QC in the last
Are
tournament.
you coaching them again this year?
No, I had to take
Can't
a
take that
back
beating
seat.
2 years in a row. Eh?
No, I can't. I had to take a back seat due to my work commitment.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't remember who SAC played for the championship last tournament.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you think QCB should be a good challenge this year as well?
QC is looking well. They have been practicing for quite a few months. They really got to jump on it this season, and I expect great things from them
So
as usual.
any of your traveling teams or playing for any of the teams, any of your fellows? I mean,
Well,
I would assume most of the teams they're playing for the high schools.
Yes, and actually most of them play at SAC, go to SAC, and that's why SAC has been able to
Hold on to that
be so,
championship.
yes, be
well,
so
I coming out there Saturday. Don't do no fool now. 'Cause I know the principal very well. Okay. All in fun.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
it starts on 9 o'clock and
we start 9 a.m. sharp with our opening ceremony.
Okay.
That'll be conducted by the Ministry of Youth and Sports,
Okay.
Mr. Barrio Boleg.
Wonderful.
And our anchor sponsor, RBC, they'll have Miss Erica Roll.
Okay.
She'll be out there. She's the managing director and count head at RBC.
Wonderful. Okay.
And so those two will be a part of our opening ceremonies starting 9 a.m. sharp, and then we kick off right after opening ceremonies.
So, any other special things coming on? Just straight football all day, or any other things?
I mean, along with the games, we'll have games going on all day until about 3 p.m. We will have food and drinks on sale. There'll be music, there'll be a lot of excitement, a lot of football.
Okay.
And we're just looking forward to an exciting day with all of the kids.
So it's co-ed, right? Both boys and
Yes,
girls.
both boys and girls play.
Okay.
On the same team. And
Okay.
so, we promise to put on an extremely awesome show.
So
on
so
Saturday.
you've grown from last year to this year. How many teams you
Yes.
had last year, if you remember?
Last tournament, we didn't have Harbor Island, and we didn't have H.O. Nash.
Okay.
For sure.
So that's at least 3 teams
Yes.
you're growing.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're getting there.
Okay. So what else going on? So this should be an exciting Saturday. SAC coming to defend its titles. They win again, 2 in a row. You see, after we lose BI, they taking no pity on nobody anymore. Time to just beat up everybody now. See? Come there and you cost this. So
Well, the talent is growing in flag football.
Yes,
and
it is.
so,
It is.
We expect great things from all of the kids. We expect great performances from all of the schools. We've had coaches working along with the schools in order to better prepare them for this tournament. So it's not been where we just reach out to schools and then their PE teachers or whatever just try and take a handle on them. We actually send BYFFL coaches to these schools to assist with their program and getting the teams prepared for this tournament.
So we're here with my special guest, Coach Nate. This is my favorite coach. I just want y'all to know that. Coach Nate from the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League. So we're happy to have you here with us. So you're not coaching anybody?
No, I will be there at my social media capacity.
Okay. On Facebook as well?
Yes, we'll be doing some lives.
Okay.
Yes, doing a lot of posting live.
Okay. Anything else we could be looking forward to? What else? All right, so the high school championships is this weekend. What happens moving forward?
So after the championship, the high school tournament, we resume the next Saturday with our Spring Bowl program that continues until June.
Okay.
And that's coming along pretty great.
Is that games or that's just teaching?
We have some teaching. We're still in the teaching phase. Probably another week or so, we'll break them into teams and then we'll start playing games.
Okay. Have you, and I wanted to ask this long, have you had international coaches or international flag football coaches come in to do any clinics, or this is all what locals have been doing?
BYFFL has been, yes.
Okay.
All over.
Are you affiliated with any international flag football or just the ones that you visit for tournaments?
We just go to tournaments. However, all of our coaches are certified.
Okay.
Yes, with the international.
And they do that training here, or they go off to the
No, we
certified?
do that training here.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm excited. Looking forward to Saturday.
Yes.
Thanks so much for coming at short notice. I know we had planned this, and it's last minute that you got you here. So Muffy and Jason are here, but we got Coach Janae. And once you're here, everything can I with the rest of them. Thank you so much. So Saturday, the high school flag football league is going to be happening. St. Augustine's, QC, H.O. Nash, and Harbour Island Center, the team, and other schools.
Powered by RBC.
And sponsored and powered by RPC. And want to thank the Ministry of Youth Sports and Minister Bolek, who's going to be there to give the opening ceremony. Be excited about it. And I will see you all on Saturday.
Yes, definitely.
Okay? We can take a break. When we get back, we can talk a little sports. We can talk about what happened last night. Them New Yorks. Oh, them New York Knicks. New York. So nice they had to name it twice. We take a break. When we get back, we'll talk some sports. This is Pearly, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday.
For bust the seal for me, I lay, and I'm going out and when my forward in. Never leave, I Jaja. Keep me far from vampires, and I'm going out and coming in. Keep me far from demons, keep me far from Satan.
Fancy this, one-of-a-kind Pesto Club sandwiches from Burger King Nassau like you've never tasted before. Choose from a juicy chicken breast or 100% flame grilled beef patty topped with irresistible fresh pesto spread, cheese, crisp bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Or start your mornings right with the Pesto Chicken Crisp Sandwich for breakfast. It's a delicious chicken patty topped with cheese, tomato, fresh pesto spread on a classic buttery BK croissant. The Pesto Club sandwiches are new, fresh, and only at Burger King Nassau.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Since 1989, Joker's Wild Comedy Club has been the heart of laughter in the Bahamas. But now an era is coming to a close. Join us May 20th to the 25th for the final shows with your headliner for the evening.
For my guy, comedian Tommy Davidson.
Joker's Wild Comedy Club has hosted world-class comedians from the early days of Steve Harvey and legends like Jay Leno and Damon Wayans. Joker's Wild has been more than just a comedy club. It's been a home for laughter and creativity.
We gotta start loving each other. Stop it. We stereotype too. Black people, white people can't dance. White people dance their ass off, just different.
Tommy Davidson, along with featured comedian Kirk Green and house comedian Naughty. Don't miss your last chance to experience the magic. May 20th to the 25th, Joker's Wild Comedy Club. Admission $50. Get your tickets now at Atlantis, Bahamas /events. Come enjoy and relive the laughter at Joker's Wild Comedy Club.
Looking for tech solution hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I care less what workers of iniquity. Rastafari, it's my security. Chilling. And I'm going out and coming in. Never leave by Jaja. I keep a far from come. And I'm going out.
And welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. So good to be back here with you. Boy, I throw and blow. You know one thing, when you throw a rock and who make noises when who get hit, right? So I call a certain name, and so I want to welcome to the studio the sports editor. Sports editor, that's the correct name?
That's correct. That is
sports
correct.
editor for the great Nassau Guardian, my good friend. QC fan, Celtic fan.
St. John's fan.
St. John's. Yeah, you in the St. John's. That's right. You're a giant. You are a giant. You just pull against Sack. Sheldon.
They wear green like us, though.
Sheldon Longley, welcome to the show, brother. How you
Thanks,
doing?
man. It's always a pleasure, man.
But I wanted to text you so bad last night.
I know.
I said, but I had to refrain myself. I just messed with some other people last night.
Trust me, we're down, but we're not out.
So the Celtics down 2-0. You guys can't buy a bucket. You can't hit a 3-pointer. What's going on?
You just blowing leads. We had 20-point leads in both games.
You sure did.
And to blow both of them is a little disturbing. But I know my team. I know we're resilient. And you just ain't hitting shots.
No, you're missing.
Yeah.
And you live and die by the 3-pointer. And basically, people criticize you, but I said, but they won a championship doing that last year.
And not only that, but 75% of our games we go win like that.
Yeah, you will.
So it just so happens that the two times we decide to shoot badly is the first two games of the series.
So you think on Saturday it'll be a different story in New York, in the Mecca?
I hope so. We played well in New York over there. We lost. The first game we lost, we missed 45 3-point shots, I think.
Yeah.
And the second game we missed 30 3-point shots.
Yeah.
That don't happen to the Celtics.
That's a lot.
You know, we normally hit in 30 3-point shots a game.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a little different. We just have to come up with a different mindset. I don't think Mazzulla's going to change his strategy. He's kind of stubborn like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, but like you said, we won a championship like that.
You sure did.
So you can't really hate on them too much for that.
But don't lose Saturday night. You lose Saturday night. You ain't gonna beat the next 3 in a row after that. You're not gonna win 4 in a row in the next.
See, my thing is you got to win 4.
Yeah,
I ain't never call my team out until another team wins 4. So even if we down 3, nothing like how we down 3 down to Miami, we came back and we forced a game 7. And we might have won game 7. No, Tatum didn't get hurt that year. We still in the fight. Which is more for the Lakers. So we still there.
You just had to go there. Hey, you just had to go there. Hey.
We're still the champions until somebody else wins.
Real talk. Let's take this call. I want to ask you some things about the new ownership and what you expect for the Celtics next year. Call you on the air.
Golly, they do this back in the West along with Naughty and Pearly and of course Lonely.
How you doing, brother?
I'm holding thank God.
Amen. What's
a couple
up?
of things I want to say, and I wasn't going to call you, but I was just listening as you were speaking of the Roman Catholic Church.
You know me in the sports section, right?
Okay.
But go ahead. I can give you this blind. You're
But
faithful.
what I'm saying is, right, when I was young, right, I always wanted to, I was living in Milton Street, you know?
Yeah.
And I always wanted to go to the Catholic school.
Our ladies, right around the corner.
Our ladies, right
Yes.
around the corner.
Yes.
Just go around and play ball and stuff like that and other things, you know? But anyhow, I always loved it.
Okay.
Well, when you all was elaborating, I was just thinking, smiling, and and saying to myself, if I only, my parents had money.
It wasn't as expensive as people made you think back in the day, you know. And I'm a product of Catholic education. I went to Xavier's, I went to St. Augustine's, and I went to Benedictine College in Minnesota, St. John. So
And you went to some good schools.
I went to the best.
Yes. In Rochester, Michigan, man, I met some beautiful priests.
Yeah.
When I was in Rochester, Michigan,
Yeah.
the church there, Roman Catholic church there, I was there, you know. a young lady took me there with her.
Oh, boy.
And that was beautiful, man.
Yeah, yes.
And the city was so clean.
Yes.
You know, that was like in the summer.
Okay.
Man, hey, that's a clean place.
Yes, it is.
That church was, it was beautiful.
It is. It
Man,
is.
And then a couple of priests here were beautiful also. Like Monsignor Preston Moss.
My second daddy.
He was king, man.
Yes.
And Bishop Burke.
Yes.
Man, they were my friends. They were beautiful men. You know what I'm
Bishop
saying?
Burke was a really good brother, you know, and I got to know him. I got to know him, and he was really a good man.
Yes,
he was
man,
good for
they
Jersey.
were real friends.
Bishop
real
Burke,
men.
before Bishop Burke left the Bahamas, he basically orchestrated the construction of all the new Catholic churches. And the new cathedral, the new St. Anselm's. I mean, the priests who were there were responsible, but he directed it. The new St. Cecilia's, the new St. Thomas More.
Yeah, wisdom.
Yes, and he brought a lot to that, and he was truly a good person. Appreciate the call, brother. Take care.
Yeah, no, I'm finished.
Oh, okay.
But what I was going to say, right? Oh, Lord, I wouldn't believe it got away from me.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
If you get it, call back, okay?
Okay.
All right, brother. Okay. So, y'all gonna have an issue next year. And I can tell you what I think your issue is next year. When you base on what your salary can be next year, $400 million. And based on the taxes and everything, it's expected that you're going to have a $500 million salary bill next year. Hartford, I think that team going to break up next year. And I think with the new ownership, because you know the fella's putting up $6 billion to buy your team. So with the new ownership, if your guys get knocked out in this round, I see some things happening there.
The thing about our style of basketball, you know, we could build around our two stars.
Okay.
So we could break up. You know, we could lose a Hartford. You know, we might could lose a Hauser off the bench.
Okay.
Right, but we build our team around shooters.
So y'all, so you're saying that whatever happens, Tatum, Brown, and White can be there next year.
Those three could be there for sure.
That's the three you can build a team around.
Well, they already locked in.
Okay.
So they could be there. So we just got to put shooters around them, put slashers around them, put perimeter defenders around them.
Okay.
And we'll be fine.
You think so? But one thing with you talking. I don't know who can spin better, you or Naughty, but y'all can talk a good talk.
Really, we have been in the playoffs now for the last 7-8 years.
Yes, you have.
You know, every year since Tatum has been there, we've been in the playoffs.
Yes, you have.
You know, so I have no doubt that we will continue to build. We have a strategy that works.
Uh-huh.
And even me, I had my doubts initially when Missoula. It started under Udoka.
Okay.
But Udoka had more defense.
Uh-huh.
And then Missoula really started to spread the floor when he came in.
Uh-huh.
And I had my doubts. I said, man, we ain't be able to win like this.
What?
You know, but I remember the man is a genius.
He is.
He put it in play. You know, 3 points come more than 2.
Yeah,
If we could throw up 40 to 50 3-point shots a game, and we could hit 20 to 25 with those, we could stand a chance to win most of our games. And so said, so done.
Okay.
You know, it happened.
So you have the confidence that you can be back. You no matter what happens, no matter whatever changes you have to make, Celtics can still be in contention.
I think so, but we ain't looking forward to next year. We still focus on this year. You know, we still feel as if we're in this series. You know, we have no problem playing the Knicks in New York. We could beat them in New York. We've proven that. But as a matter of fact, I think sometimes we play better on the road than when we do at home. Right? So
that's true, you know, and you do have a pretty good record in New York.
Yes, as a matter, we have the best road record in the league this year.
But I think the Knicks get the best clutch play in basketball right now.
And Brunson?
Yeah, you don't agree with me?
Maybe so, but then he struggles defensively. So everybody have their weaknesses, you know. How is he going to contain our perimeter guys? Our perimeter guys just going to hit shots.
I don't think he's the issue. I think the issue is Cat. If Cat, I think so. How Cat goes, so go the Knicks.
That's a part of it. I think they made a big adjustment when they brought in Bridges.
Yeah, they sure did.
Bridges helped that team a lot.
And if Cat keeps it close, Brunson can beat you.
Maybe not. The Knicks have won like about 5 or 6 straight 3-point games or less.
Okay.
You see, I think that's a record. I think no other team has done that in NBA history in the playoffs. Right, so they're pretty good clutch players, you know, and Brunson leads the way in that category. But we just got to find a way to maintain leads, man. You know, you can't blow a 20-point third quarter lead, a 16-point fourth quarter lead.
Okay.
Right, and to do it 2 games back to back, that's not our style of basketball. We were 40-1 in games we were led by 20 points this season up until game 1.
Well, the interesting, and I want you to listen at the end, listen to the final 15. Colin Cowherd is calling Jason Tatum out for hurting the Celtics against the Knicks.
Yeah,
He's the superstar of the team. He should be carrying the team. Now I wonder why they leave him on the bench in the Olympics.
The man is a champion, man. And he proved himself. He's proven himself over. How much time you want Tatum to prove himself?
I listened to Stephen A. Smith and Perkins had a big row today. Perkins said he think it's over. And Smith tell him it's blasphemy. That's an insulted and Celtic. He's a former Celtic, and he's he says you only get one ring and Tatum get one ring. Why are you holding out there? Then Perkins back and said, listen, we were old then. These young boys, they're just getting to their prime. They need to be winning multiple rings.
Only won one. He won one. He's a superstar. He has his moments. Sometimes he doesn't perform as well as he should. His first 2 games in the series wasn't good. I'm sure he recognizes that. Look for the beast to show up in Game 3.
The beast.
Yeah, Tatum is going to score 30-plus in Game 3. I'm putting it on the record right now. He's going to score 30-plus in Game 3. Brown is going to be efficient, and we're going to 3. We'll focus on Game 3, and then when Game 4 comes, we'll look at that.
Okay. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, Pearly, what's happening?
All right, there, brother. What you saying?
Good afternoon to you, guest.
Good afternoon, bro.
Mystery, what's happening?
Everything good, Pearly. What's your guest's name?
That's the sports editor for The Guardian, Sheldon Longley. Big Celtic fan, huge Celtic fan.
From 1983.
He sounds very confident.
Oh, he's very confident. You should hear him after they win the championship. He's very calm right now than he was last year.
No. I want him to understand that the Celtics are playing a different Knicks team altogether.
Agreed.
They are.
This is a different breed of New York Knicks.
It is.
And the Celtics need to win 4 straight in order to win.
They
don't need to win. They need to win 4 of the next 5 games. That's what they need to do.
They need to, hold on. In order for them to win this series, they need to win 4.
Okay. Yes.
To win this series.
Yes.
And the same thing with Cleveland.
Yes.
Listen, the Celtics play in a different breed. The Celtics was too comfortable.
Okay.
And the thing about it is without what's his name, Porzingis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem for them right there. Okay, this is a different breed of Knicks they playing right now, and I don't think the Celtics coming out of this as winners. See you next year, my brother. See you next year.
He's a Heat fan, yeah. He's a Heat fan.
Call back in a week.
Call back in a week. And the same thing with Cleveland. Cleveland was balling, and Boston was balling.
Cleveland, they are more trouble than us. They are more trouble than us. That Indiana team, that's a sneaky good team.
Yeah. Cleveland in trouble. You're right.
It's harder to win. It's harder to win.
But seriously speaking, though, 2 games.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
2 games, the Knicks came back from 20 points.
That was unexpected.
That's crazy.
That was crazy. That was shocking to me. I was shocked.
That's crazy. Come on, against the Boston Celtics.
But what collapse would you call more monumental or that stands out more? Cleveland had a 7-point lead with I think 50 seconds left.
Around 50-something
right?
seconds.
We had a 20-point lead in the third quarter. Mind you, there's still time. I think Cleveland collapses more, significant than us.
No. That's only 7 points versus 20 points.
In the last minute of the game, though. With 50 seconds left, which team blows a 7-point lead in the last minute of the game?
That's true. You don't see that too often.
But Boston is a better team than Cleveland.
Well, Cleveland got a better record.
Cleveland's got a better record.
It's the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but they were the number 1 seed, yeah. But Cleveland, on paper, really, Boston is a better team.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
Yeah. Boston is a really, really good team, and everyone really looking for Boston to come out of the East this year. But for what I saw those past 2 games, Jesus.
Well, you say everyone, not Pearly. I hope Boston get beat. They don't need to come out the East because they have 2 championships over my Lakers, and I don't see my Lakers win the championship right up to now, so they need to slow down.
You shouldn't even let people know you still pull for the Lakers.
No, I don't. I'm loyal. That's the guy's your friend. I'm loyal. I ain't going nowhere.
The COVID pandemic championship.
And the record shows that's a championship. That's a championship. You can put your asterisk all you want on that. That counts as a championship.
Pandemic championship, all right.
I'm looking for the Warriors to beat up on Minnesota again tonight.
I think Minnesota wins tonight.
I think that 5-day layover for Minnesota was a fact. I think they'd be a better team tonight.
Yeah.
But I don't like his little attitude. I think he needed Ant-Man needed to get spanked. He got called out by his coach as not showing true leadership, but he can be all right.
I tell you one thing that's going to be tough to beat that team. OKC done the team. They rolling. I mean they lost game 1, but they bounced back in a huge way.
You see what they put on Denver last night? They beat them by 43 points.
Boy,
that ain't gonna happen twice though. Not a big win like that.
No, but I think they beat Denver in that series, and they're gonna be tough to beat.
They are, but they will be tough to beat. I'll be honest with you. I think the winner of the next Celtics series will be the team that's coming out of the East, and I think it can be OKC Thunder.
You can't sleep on them bases.
Yeah, they look. But they don't match up as well with the Knicks or the Celtics as they do with the team they beat.
Yeah, them Celtics playing ball. Anyway, y'all have a good one, guys.
All right. Thank you, brother. We got to go. We got Colin Cowherd coming up right now, but let's get you the picks since I got you here with me. We can do the one basketball and a couple of baseball. Cool. All right, so we got the Golden State Warriors at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota's a 10.5-point favorite tonight.
I'm taking the Minnesota, but I think Golden State covers.
You're taking the money line?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a couple of baseball games. We'll take a look at the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yamamoto pitching for the Dodgers tonight. Diamondbacks ain't doing no well. I taking my Dodgers always.
Yamamoto's been struggling recently, hasn't he?
No, Yamamoto has the best ERA in baseball. It's 0.90 ERA.
And he didn't start off the season kind of shaky?
He had one bad game. But the last couple of games have been really solid.
Where they playing tonight?
They're playing in Arizona.
I taking the Diamondbacks, man. Diamondbacks looking pretty good. Corbin, what's his name? Corbin
Carroll.
He's playing pretty good.
He is.
The Diamondbacks.
He is looking good. Toronto Blue Jays at the Los Angeles Angels. Soriano pitching for the Angels tonight. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. They're playing some good baseball.
Who the Blue Jays on there?
Bassett.
I go the Angels.
Okay. Cincinnati Reds at the Atlanta Braves. Both teams aren't doing well, but the Braves now in third place. So they've been climbing from a bad start and playing pretty good baseball.
They have been climbing, but I'll take the Reds on the road.
Okay, and finally, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah, that's Tampa Bay have former Dodger Pippard pitching. Luzardo pitching for Philly. He's 3-0 with a 1.9 DRA. I'm going with the Phillies tonight.
Phillies.
Okay, cool. There we have it. There you got it, people. It's been a great day. Congratulations to the Roman Catholic Church on the appointment of its new Pope, Pope Leo XIV. Thank you, Sheldon, for joining me today.
Anytime, brother.
Let's hope your Celtics hold on Saturday night.
I have faith in them.
And I'm going to go home to watch me some baseball.
Yes,
Take care, everybody. It's been a great day. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow when Naughty and MJ will be in, and I'll join them at 5. It's been a Talking Heads Thursday. Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Be good.
From Satan, I let walk with me, talk to me, show me the thoughts and them heart for me. Me them on my journey, them can't see me. Them a preface me can't write off for me. Be a shield for me.
I've been up at Penda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Penda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something. Damn showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in. 8x48, 12x24, 24x24. And what I really, really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that. Not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Turn up the heat and the flavor with the new Jalapeno Fire from KFC. Crunch into the iconic taste of KFC's original recipe, extra large filet that's made with KFC's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices cooked to perfection. Stacked high with spicy jalapeno peppers, pepper jack cheese, and our cool but kickin' jalapeno sauce, all wrapped up in a soft toasted brioche bun. Go bolder and crank up the heat with our spicy zinger filet. The new Jalapeno Fire is bringing the heat and it's finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Been off the WSC grid for over a year? Now's the time to come back and save big. For a limited time only, the Water and Sewage Corporation is offering up to 50% off reconnection fees for customers disconnected for more than 1 year. Don't miss this chance to reconnect and enjoy reliable, quality water service at a discounted rate. Call 302-5599 to learn more. Water and Sewage Corporation, dedicated to dependable, affordable water solutions.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I care less what workers of iniquity. Rastafari, it's my security. Chilling, and I'm going out and coming in. believe I judge.
30-plus years of watching, covering the NBA, I have never seen what just happened in Boston. And I thought about it. I thought about it this morning. I've never seen this. A world champion starts a series at home, heavily favored both games, has 20-point leads in both games, and not only loses, had no guts at the end. The champ's supposed to have a champion's confidence. I find the Celtics, honestly, after last night, hard to root for. All they are now is a math formula. 3-pointers regardless. And last night, to me, was not just a win for the Knicks. It was a win for Manalytics, which is my term. It's a little analytics, but it's about men and resilience and grit and toughness and not being nervous Nelly in the clutch. This isn't just about the Celtics. Dale Bridges and OG on the wing are dudes. Brunson and Josh Hart, classic Villanova overachievers who, again, are never rattled in the moment. They're playing, the double big lineup. This is not just about the Celtics, but they are the world champions, so that's the primary focus today. And I know what I said. The Knicks are not going to win another game. I know it. But watching the Celtics collapse, you know what I thought about? The math nerds will not take over our sport. The basketball gods are pushing back. Wall Street, AI, tech, it's all being taken over by analytics. Can we just have our basketball? Boston missed 75 threes in the last 2 games. By the way, 11 for 11 on dunks. How about a few more of those? I found myself at the end sort of enjoying the collapse. These scrappy, tough, resilient, stayed in college Villanova guys, and that's what the Knicks are. They're Villanova professionally. And ironically, the only bucket the Celtics hit, minutes at home with a deeper, better roster, was a dunk. Remember those? Used to have those. That was it. So when they went away from analytics, they actually scored. So Boston completely earned last night. And again, you got to give New York credit. And I think it's a real thing. There's a term in the NBA, Villanova guys. Bridges and Brunson and Hart, they stay in school. They had to play defense, mostly from the Northeast, tough guys, been around big cities, recruited out of D.C., it could be New York, it could be Boston. They're never afraid of the moment. And so let's not just hammer on the Celtics. A lot of this is just the Knicks being a team that never quits. I mean, the Villanova with Jay Wright, they didn't have 5-star guys. They had 3-star guys. Calipari had the 5-star guys, the one-and-done guys. So, sometimes I'm sitting there watching it. I always said playoff basketball, to me, has always been one thing. Actually, 2 things, but one thing really. Get a bucket, get a stop. That's really it. We talked about this yesterday. The crowd's going crazy. New York, just go get a bucket. Maybe it's 2 free throws. Go get a bucket, go get a stop. And it's like sometimes watching the Celtics and all their analytics go down the drain. It's like sometimes it is funny to watch the math nerd get his pants pulled down. And that's what happened last night. That's what happened last night. And I'm going to say this, give the Knicks credit, and I don't use this term much. That is an all-time choke. I'll give you one. I'll give you the first game because you dominated the Knicks all year. You got sloppy, and the Knicks are a good team. I'll give you the first. That's not a choke. You lost a lead. It's a little embarrassing. Last night's a choke. That is a full-on choke. This team, by the way, Boston, 11 for 11 on dunk attempts. You want to try those. The closer they get to the basket, the more they make their shots. Here was Josh Hart after.
I don't think we even know what we're capable of. I think we have to continue. I think we have to put together a full game, and I think that's something that we haven't done during the course of this playoffs. Continuing to get better. No one else is worried about that? And figuring out a way to put together a full 48-minute game.
So let's now focus on Jason Tatum. Can we finally put this to bed? He's the face of the league. Thank God we can stop arguing about that. But remember this. Do you remember during the Olympics when Steve Kerr, I don't know, I think he knows a little more basketball than me and you. Steve Kerr wouldn't play Tatum. And Boston Southie was really upset. Chowda, what is wrong with Kerr? He knows more basketball than you, Sully. He does. And they wouldn't play him. And this is why. Ability without aggression. He wanted closers. If you can't play for Boston in clutch moments, you're not going to play for the country. This is what Steve Kerr saw. 2 of his last 3 shots were followaways. Because I think at his core, he has to be convinced to be aggressive. There was a moment at the end of the game when Tatum drove in, 18 seconds left, gave Boston a lead, dunked it. And my reaction was, whoa, well, that was aggressive. Because he never does that. I mean, it was like, oh, wow, it was off-brand. I mean, he's 6'8", long and athletic, can beat guys off the dribble all night. Do it. Last night was somebody swatting chalk out of Goodwill Hunting's hand. And Tatum is really what's ironic here, juxtaposed with Brunson. He's the anti-Brunson. Brunson is work boots. And Tatum is leather loafers. And if it's a little drizzly outside, best not wear them. I'm serious. Everything about Tatum. Tatum gets anxious. He looks a little nervous. He's a bit passive. He's indecisive. He's unbelievably talented. Brunson's pretty talented. Tough as nails. All grit. Villanova tough. Like they're like opposite players. One guy is just put on the work boots, head down. Never forget Jalen Brunson, and you do not see this in the NBA much. Jalen Brunson's like, I'll take a little less money. I want to play with my guys. That is so Villanova. You know, Villanova, you go to Villanova, class is hard. You play defense. It's not one and done. Even with NIL, they're not going to pay you the most. Villanova is a culture. It's not just the name of a university. And that's what the Knicks play like. That's why they're so easy to root for. Like, not all New York teams are easy to root for. I get people that don't like the Yankees and the payroll. The Knicks are fun. And Brunson is the anti-Tatum. And Celtic fans know it. You could hear them early in the game getting uncomfortable. And I'm not an anti-Tatum guy. But for when I was saying this during the Olympics, I get it. A DNP coach's decision. When I've been saying this face of the league stuff, it's like I have defended the passive nature of Tatum. But, man, there's a reason everybody loves MJ. I mean, there is a reason. He punched Steve Kerr. There's a reason why Kerr loves Draymond Green, who's limited athletically, who's limited offensively, but gives you everything, relentless. And so I thought it was fitting last night. As they were collapsing, I'm like, it's the perfect team and guy to collapse to. The Knicks, the less talented Villanova of pro basketball, resilient, tough. They go into your place. I'm looking at this. Clutch time numbers between Brunson and Tatum. I won't waste your time on all of these. Forget the fact Brunson's got twice as many points. Brunson's plus 18. Tatum's minus 16. Tatum's hurting his team. Brunson is sometimes exhausted, sometimes defensively gets, abused a little because of his lack of size, but he is never a detriment. Somewhere on the floor, Jalen Brunson's making your team better. Here's the Celtics coach after the collapse.
I think game one wasn't inefficient as I thought. He just missed some really good looks. I thought today he passed up some ones. So, their switchability, their ability to impact shifts definitely impacted him tonight. So, yeah, I thought he missed some easy layups in the beginning of the game. I thought he missed a couple there in the third quarter. But, they do a good job. OG Anunoby's a good individual defender, and they have good shifts and help behind.
Boston could have blown both these games to Indiana, and it wouldn't feel the same. And it's not just a Boston-New York thing. That's not it. It's the culture of the Knicks, which is, man, get a stop, get a bucket. Brunson, less money against analytics. It's who you're losing to, how you're losing, and the star of New York is the anti-Tatum to me, at least emotionally. So, J-Mac, I thought of you on as I was watching this game with friends, sitting around a table with friends. Yeah. I kept thinking you were next door at a place, yes, eating at high-end sirloin. All right. And I kept thinking he is having the time of his life. It was the place I was at, and again, it's LA, so nobody likes Boston, but a lot of people in LA don't like New York either. It was just wild to watch people's reaction. It was like, the Celtics are collapsing in front of us, and they just kept hoisting up these awful shots.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers here. I know you crushed Tatum, and I get that. I will point out Celtics starters, 2 for 18 in the fourth quarter shooting. This is